All right, guys, so we're back. It's Romantic Propaganda, another week. I think this is episode 4.
Yes.
Yeah, cool, episode 4. I'm Imani Shakur, filmmaker.
I'm Devon Hewett, author of Romantic Propaganda.
And this is the only broadcast where we broadcast the truth. This is the only podcast, where we broadcast the truth and expose the lies.
Podcast.
Same thing.
Same
you guys
thing.
know what
You
we
get the
mean.
point. You've seen this last week.
Yeah, it's a man's perspective on love, sex, relationships, women, our issues with women, and everything in between. Like we always say, it's raw and uncut. And most importantly, we're telling the truth. Get your pen and pads ready. Don't forget to email your questions and topics to rptalktruth@gmail.com. That's in the description along with the Twitter. And it's Romantic Propaganda on Twitter. Hashtag why do men, hashtag why do women. We'll answer those questions and topics at the end of each show. And today, I think Devon is going first because last week I went first and we kind of take turns. And we both have great topics. Right, Devon?
Right.
Let's get into it.
Okay, so as my man Imani said, I'm going first. And today's topic starts off as a question. And ladies, you're going to be on the spot again this time. It's kind of a controversial question. Do women love being dominated? And my answer is yes.
And my answer is no.
Women like to be dominated by the man. And
what do you mean by dominated? Let's get that clear first.
Now, when I say dominated, I don't mean this is how it's going to be. My rules, my house. I'm the head of the house. Dogmatic, aggressive, and dictatorship like that. I'm not talking about that at all.
Okay.
That's abuse. That's unbalanced. And if any of you women are out there in a relationship like that, get out of that as soon as possible and go get some help if you have a man that does that. What I say by dominating is I feel and believe 100% that the psychology of a woman's mind is designed to be led and directed by an authoritative figure, that being a male. And if you look at it, let's look at it. Women seem to find certain attributes of a man attractive that kind of highlights what I'm saying about being dominated. For example, women like men who are physically fit. We talked about in one of our episodes, men being strong. And, if a man can open the pickle jar for me, honey, and you're such a man, and, okay, you change the tire or fix my car, those are attractive. If he's a plumber or a construction worker, a man in a leadership role that shows some kind of control, some kind of authority and strength, women find that attractive. They even go for men. Women prefer men that are actually taller than them. As a man looks down in a condescending way, and she looks up like she's vulnerable.
I wouldn't call it condescending, but
not condescending, but yeah, that's the wrong word. But he's looking down with an authoritative. I'm in charge, or I'm looking down like a subordinate. Not saying that's what it is.
She wants to look up and feel protected as well.
Protected.
I think it's more like that. Yeah.
If a man and a woman, let's say, are walking down the street from the movies, and a thug, a robber, comes out with a knife, naturally the man says, "Get behind me, honey."
Right.
If they have kids, he's the one that steps forward and says, "Get behind me." Right? Now, this isn't the patriarchy. This isn't like male dogma or male trying to suppress women. This is what is designed in nature. And I wanted to bring out why I feel this way is that if we look at the universe, right? This big thing about listening to the universe. Listen to the universe, and let's look at nature, for example. In nature, I've learned recently, this is why I feel this way now, is that crustaceans, like lobsters and crabs, they have a sense of hierarchy. They have like the leader crab that leads that migrates the crabs or the lobsters that leads them to migrate some according to the magnetic field. They walk on the ocean floor for hundreds of miles, and it's usually a male lobster that does the leading. In the herd of the buffalo, it's usually the male buck that does the leading. We can also talk about how in the animal kingdom with the wolves, there's the alpha male, and with the alpha male, any other male or female can take on the chance to attack and take control over the alpha male and lead the pack. But it's usually an alpha male that does it and the others follow. Now, there is something that in the universe that has created men to lead. And that's actually why men fall to depression and commit suicides, is because when men are not fulfilling themselves in a leadership role, they're unemployed, they're not making money, they're not providing for the house, they go through a psychological change. It's unnatural for them, and they go through a depression.
They feel they can't be the man that they should be.
And that's not something that's been taught through society, or it's a propaganda, it's a manipulation. That's something that we see in nature. We see it within the animal kingdom. We see it even within bacteria. Not bacteria has sexes, but we see that there's roles. And so we want to talk about roles. I'm talking about a role that works throughout the millennia. There's a role between men and women and children that has made mankind survive this far. And so when a man fulfills that role, he's more manly, and that makes a woman more attractive. And that's why you see women read books like 50 Shades of Grey. They find that erotic novel or movie, they find that stimulating and exciting about a man that's rich and powerful, but he's interested in the girl next door, someone innocent, someone not familiar with that world, and he's pinning her down and having sex with her, and he's on top of her, and he's being the man. And
now you're talking about sexual domination. That's different.
Well, it really is.
And the physicalities of sexual domination.
It's also part of it. It's part of that being led.
It kind of translates into the bedroom too, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
it continues in the bedroom.
You know how many women I've heard say that they stopped talking to a guy because when they made plans for the weekend, he didn't have an action plan. He didn't have.
No, you're right.
He was like, "It's up to you. Whatever you want to do." Women want a man to say, you know what, we're going to do this for the weekend. I got this, and that.
Yeah, and if I can interject, I disagree with Devon in saying they want to be dominated. What I call it is women like men to drive the relationship. That's the way I would like to describe the same thing. I mean, we're like basically saying the exact same thing. I'm just correcting the term he's using, domination. I actually believe that women want men to drive the relationship. I totally agree with that. Even rich and powerful, successful women, if you are with or dating a woman that makes more money than you and is more successful than you, even that woman wants you to drive the relationship if you're making less. Her economic status has nothing to do with you being the man and protecting her and driving that relationship and having an action plan during the week and on the weekend and stuff like that. And guys, if you find yourself in a relationship to where she is making a lot more than you, you have to be smart and know how to vibe and know how to coexist in that.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all. Some women are just super successful, and then it is what it is. You know what I mean? But I have to agree with you. They definitely want the man to drive the relationship. Even the ones that don't want to admit it and they rebel and like, I don't need a man and this, that, and the other. How many times have we heard that?
Right.
Even those ladies definitely want the guy to drive the relationship. I completely and utterly agree with you. And I had an argument, a while back with someone I was with, and I was telling her that same thing, and she told me, "Oh no, I don't want you to drive the relationship. I want to drive too." I'm like, "No, you don't."
Unfortunately, I'm going to say this. It's going to get into a lot of trouble, but women do not have the capacity to lead all the time.
Right.
Because whether you think...
They weren't built like that. They just weren't.
They weren't built like that. And that's the way...
By nature. Going back to what you were saying before.
By
they
nature.
just were not built like that.
Now, women can lead. Women can lead. But it's not about gender. It's about who is right for the job. Right? Exactly. Who is right for the job, And this makes me think about the workforce, as I was reading about the workforce in the 1940s and 50s. The reason why men were in the workforce more than women is because men were right for the job. At the time, there was factories, coal mines, construction, railroad building, industry, and it's just the way it is that men are more biologically equipped to handle such tough measures like that. Yeah. It's just what it is. And it's not that the men is better.
Right.
It's not that the woman is inferior. It's just men are right for the job to make an action plan and always follow through.
Right.
Because men tend to rely on the logical side of things.
Right.
And women tend to lean on the emotional side of things. And the emotional side aspect doesn't really help construct all the time. It does, but it can't be trusted all the time.
Right. And I agree. So men, like, get in gear, man, and really, even if she's acting as if she doesn't want that, she does. Like, get in there and get in the driver's seat and really drive to the relationship. Take her hand, lead her. Always have an action plan. Even if the plan has to actually change, at least you had a plan. Say, if you say, baby, yeah, we're going to do this weekend. That's what I'm thinking. Even if she changes it slightly, that's fine. As long as you did come with some type of plan.
Right.
And that translates in all areas. I mean, like we were talking earlier from the 50 Shades films, it translates in the bedroom too. I mean, I've heard many times that a woman likes when a guy takes control in the bedroom and stuff like that, and handles or grab or pull in the room, rip everything off, make it happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm not saying there are times that, you know, you're really not in the mood and she can't say, babe, come in here, and she grabs your hand too. But generally speaking, you should be the one driving that, even in the bedroom.
Right.
So I think it translates on all levels, and it also translates into, like you were saying, in the whole protection thing if you're out. I think it translates on all areas.
Right.
You know?
So that's why I said the word dominating.
Yeah.
Because it covers, you know.
To me, dominate is a strong word.
That's what I'm saying. It's an unwelcome word because of the time we're living in, right?
Yeah, but if you look up the definition of dominate, I don't think they really want to be dominated. Can we look it up? What does that word mean?
Okay, let me ask my phone. Okay.
Which is why we have our laptops.
I got my phone right here. You can look it up. Okay, Google. What does dominating mean?
Yeah, having a...
Here's the definition of dominate. Have a commanding influence on, exercise control over.
Yeah.
Okay, did they pick it up? Yeah. Exercise control over.
Yeah, have a commanding influence on, exercise control over.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, maybe dominating may be a strong... It's
kind of strong word.
It's a strong word. Now, mind you, I'm not... Okay, what I'm saying is, men, show some leadership.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Relationship.
Show some leadership, show some courage, show some strength, and those are all attributes that women find attractive.
They do.
Right?
Absolutely.
And what I'm saying is, because they find that attractive, when you exercise those attributes, man, it kind of puts you in a position of authority, but that's even a strong word.
Yeah.
You know, but what I'm saying is just show some leadership.
It just puts you in a position of strength and leadership.
Right.
That's all.
And it's written in your DNA. Men exercise it. But I will say this. You said something about driving the relationship, take it to the bedroom, initiate everything. Men, everything is fine with that, but when she says no, she means no. We know what that means.
That's a whole nother subject.
That's a whole nother thing. Don't play the game.
We'll she wants another show.
Yeah, she wants it or whatever. No means no.
No means no.
No matter if you are the leader.
Yeah. And before we switch topics, I wanted to say too, like, even when you first meet someone, we were talking about the art in one of the other episodes, the art of creating a relationship. Even when you first meet someone and it's time for that first date and you've gotten to that point, past the bad texting communication, which we covered, and past the other stuff, know what the plan's done. When she goes, hey, what do you want to do? Don't go, I don't know. I was thinking. Don't do that. Go, this is what I was thinking. Let's do this. The first date, I have a pretty cool plan. What do you think? Have an action plan.
Have an action
plan. Drive the
plan.
relationship.
Be prepared.
Yeah, be prepared. So you ready to switch?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So the next one we're going to talk about, this is a big one. I have a good story to share about this one. This is... In today's time, so I have a daughter, and me and my friends, we're on one of these location apps, Life 360, GPS Pro, and all that kind of stuff, where you can kind of see where your friends are. Like me and my daughter, we use it. When I go pick her from school, she'll get a notification. When she gets out, she sees, oh yeah, dad is here already. So no need to call or text. She knows, okay, he's here, and she can literally see on her phone where I'm parked and everything. With friends, we use it to where if we're all meeting out one night and stuff, instead of calling, hey, is Mark or Chris there, which is some of our mutual friends, we can just look on the map and go, oh, okay, he's almost here. You don't have to, so that's why we use it. Now, should we be on this type of map with our significant other, whether it's a girlfriend, you know, fiance or wife? What do you guys think? And I say the answer is no, and I'm going to tell you why. You know, so years ago, I was dating this Slovakian girl. I won't name her. And, you know, she knew I had the map. She knew how, she said, hey, I'd love to get on that. I said, you know what? We can get on the map, but the minute you use it against me, we're off of the map. I made it very clear. I said, the minute you're spying on me and you bring it up and throw it in my face and use it against me, it's over. And it lasted about a week.
Like what do you mean? Like she said, you said you were here, but the map said this?
Right. Or the story I'm about to explain.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So it lasted about a week. I thought it would last longer than that, but it didn't. And I remember one day I was running around Hollywood, LA, Burbank, and she lived in Burbank. And I happened to be having a meeting with a producer that lived in Burbank. And I happened to be going back and forth that day. And she was spying on me, which she said she wouldn't do. And later that day, she got upset and she said, you've been in my area all day and you couldn't even come by and see me. Ooh. I was like, what? I immediately said, see, this is what I'm talking about. Before I even started saying that, I deleted her ass off the map. then I said, see, this is what I was saying. It's great when you use it to see when I'm on my way, if I'm almost there for dinner and stuff like that. But it's not good when you use it against me the way you're using it now. And I explained to her, I was like, babe, I'm in your area, but I'm in meetings all day. I happen to be in your area. Mm-hmm. We had no plan on seeing each other. I think we had seen each other the day before and had planned 2 days again later or whatever it was. But I just happen to be in the area that you live in. That doesn't mean that, obviously, if I was available and I could come and see you, I would come and see you. But the map shouldn't be used to like spy on each other and watch each other's every single move. And as strange as it may sound, and I don't know why, maybe you can help here. You know, based on that experience, it actually seems to me like it's okay to do it with a friend because we don't care where each other is.
Isn't that weird? Yeah.
But with our loved one, we can't do it for some reason. Someone enlighten me. Devon, what do you have to say?
Okay, well, I think, thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. First, I will agree and disagree. I agree there is something wrong there. And I think the problem is, unlike if you were in the area and you didn't hit me up, I wouldn't get upset.
Right. Because obviously, I couldn't. I'm there. You see me, but that doesn't mean I'm available. I can.
And there are some other friends, platonic friends, that would get upset. But that's a whole other issue.
That's a whole other story.
But in both issues, I feel that the reason why it's unattractive and unwelcoming is because it shows some kind of distrust within you. Like they're having some kind of suspicion or some kind of insecurity. And that makes everyone feel uncomfortable when they're being interrogated. Right. See, what it is it's a form of, if he's in point A and she's in point A and she knows, but he doesn't make mention of it, it's like an interrogation when she says, why didn't you hit me up when you were in the area? Even though it's glossy and shiny on the outside. Yeah. She said, why didn't you hit me up, baby? But deep down, you know, there's an interrogation. That's uncomfortable for anyone.
Right.
But I will say, even as a man, if I was dating someone and she was in my area, you know, and it was a surprise, or I saw her on the map and she didn't tell me she was in the area, I would kind of feel upset because it's like, hey, what's going on? Like, I'm here, you know I'm here.
But you wouldn't even know if you didn't have the map.
If I didn't have the map, yeah. So what difference does it make, right?
What difference does it make?
Right. Okay, how would you feel? Okay, so let's flip the coin. Suppose she came to your area. She didn't tell you without the map. You go to the grocery store, buy some apples and some cake or whatever, some food. I don't know why I said apples and cake, but
yeah.
And then you bump into her in the register. Oh, Slovakian girl. Hi, how are you? She's like, oh, hi. You wouldn't think that's a little weird that she was didn't tell you?
Well, first of all, she shouldn't have even been looking on the map because it's not used for that. That's first of all. Oh, you sitting at home? I mean, oh, where is he right now? I mean, it's supposed to be used if I'm on the way, you're coming, if you're in trouble, you can hit the panic button. stuff like that.
Right.
If I'm in an accident, something like, as a matter of fact, the same girl in question ended up in a car accident on a 405, and I knew exactly where she was.
Oh wow, okay.
And that's how that's what it's used for. If you're not, so I guess the question is, should we be on the map with our significant other? And if we are, it should be used correctly. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be used to see where you at and use it against you and stuff like that. And to me, if you can't be on the map, this is another question. If you can't be on the map with your significant other, are you doing something you shouldn't be doing? You know what I mean? Is it okay to see every move if you did want to just check in one day, or is it not? Is it uncomfortable? Is it comfortable? You know what I mean?
Okay, but I
those are the questions.
But I do think
because hold on, every woman I bring this up to goes, hell no, I want my husband to see where I am every moment.
That's kind of creepy.
And isn't that trippy though? Yeah. That you're married to this person for 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 years, but for some reason, it's something about he or she knowing where you are that just doesn't quite sit well.
Right.
And I think that's interesting.
That is a little...
But it's okay.
An invasion of privacy.
For friends to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It is weird.
It's okay for me and my editor, creative director of my company, Sione, to do it. Because we don't care where we are. You know what I'm saying? But why is it a problem if it's your significant other? And I think that's an interesting question.
I think I think the answer to that, audience, please comment.
Please comment on this one.
Comment on that below.
What do you guys think?
I think, though, mainly it's because there's, like I said earlier, is a hint of, like, distrust. You know, that you have to know who I am every single moment. Why? What's brewing in your mind when I'm looking you in the eyes? What are you really thinking about me? You know, and it's the same about how maybe a man must see his phone. It's called the self-fulfilling prophecy. You know about that? You know about that. He talks about that, about how, let's say a man fears his girlfriend leaving him. So then he says, who are you talking to? Let me see your phone. Who are you texting? Where are you? Where are you? And inadvertently, his actions are pushing her away. Yeah. She doesn't want to be around a guy like that. So then she leaves him, and he causes what he feared the most by his actions and stuff like that. The map thing could cause that kind of an atmosphere of always being monitored. Right. You know, that's what it is. No one always likes to be monitored.
I guess it's like but yet for some reason it's different if it's a significant other. I guess because if you're in a relationship, you think you will be monitored, as opposed to how, you know, our friends are on it, Mark and Crispy and stuff. We know we're not monitoring each other for no reason.
It's like a possession thing.
I guess so.
You know what I'm saying? Like people don't want to feel possessed by one person.
Right, yeah. Why does he have to know where I am? I'm not doing anything, but I still don't want him to just see where I am.
Right, because when it's a friend, I know you don't own me.
Yeah, that's exactly.
But in a relationship, you feel like this person owns me. Right, and I belong to we belong to each other. Right. But once that person is like, where are you? And they're looking at you, like, hey, you need to back up a little bit. Right. Some independency.
Right, exactly. And ladies and gents, this doesn't mean that some of you guys out there aren't doing this successfully. Maybe you are, and maybe both people don't even check, and they even forget that it's on there. They only use it on an emergency. Some couples are like that, and maybe those couples are at the point to where they can successfully do it and not feel that sense of ownership or possession, or I have to know where you are every second of the day. Right. Or I have to be able to actually check and see where you are every second of the day. Right. You know what I mean? Again, I've tried it once with one significant other, and it didn't work, and I haven't tried it again since, because I was like, yeah, this is a disaster. Yeah.
You know, I mean, there may be a situation where a man and a woman are dating, and maybe his girlfriend gets kidnapped. Maybe she gets raped. Yep. Or sexually assaulted. Yep. He doesn't know where they are.
The map would have saved him.
And they both agree from this point on, we're going to install GPS systems on our car. Right. There's people like that.
People like that.
They have to watch their children, watch their backs, because they're being watched. You know, people live some interesting lives. You'd be surprised. Yeah. They might want to know where their wife is at 3 a.m. after 3 p.m. or whatever, after work, you know, for their own safety. At that point, I feel it's okay if there's a mutual exchange as to, you know, communicate as to the reasons why you got that But those kind of things, I wouldn't prefer to have my significant other watch me.
Yeah, I was just about to say I wouldn't either,
and I wouldn't want to watch her.
I like want to be able to go to the winery or go visit my friend one day without her knowing exactly. I want to be able to say it. Hey, babe, I'm going to run to the winery, grab a glass. I don't want to be able to just check and go, let me see where he is.
Who he really is. And then you got to explain yourself. That's the problem, too, is that you're a grown adult.
Yeah.
If you say, I'm going to go drink wine with Devon and the guys...
you stopped at Mark's for a second, then it's like, why'd you stop at Mark's? I thought you were going to...
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that comes from like PTSD. That gives me PTSD of past relationships I had when I had women interrogate me and say, what were you? Like you said right there, what you said is, why'd you go to Mark? That came from past experience.
Right.
When some woman probably checked you and was like, I thought you said you was going here. Why you doing? And you had to explain yourself.
Right. And that's what'll happen if they can see you on the map all the time.
That makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And so, no, it's not okay. And
again, I don't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, that's not okay.
No, yeah. And again, those that are successfully doing it and have successfully done it, more power to you. Leave us some comments. Let us know how it's worked for you guys having your significant other on GPS and stuff like that. But I've tried it and it just didn't work. It ended up in a major disaster. Right. Again, I'm on with a bunch of friends. We're cool with it. It works great for us. You know what I mean? Recently, a buddy of mine came to town and brought his parents in town to go wine tasting and stuff. And it would work perfect. We knew exactly when we were both at the winery. It's genius. But I think it's most successful in non-committal love relationships. That's what I think.
Now, if you're traveling in another country, say you guys go to France or Africa, China, unfamiliar territory.
That's a good point.
That's a good idea.
Then it's genius.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Keep a watch on each other because people go missing.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And I want to say this, gentlemen, men, women, if you're in a relationship in which you feel you have to track the person every single to where they go, or
get out of it,
you have to go through their phone every time they're talking to, then that's not the relationship for you.
Yeah, get out of the relationship. I totally agree.
Right. You want to be able to trust the person, and you also want to have the person trust you.
Yeah.
There's forgiveness, there's problems, but if you were someone that needs to track your every move, get out of that relationship.
Yeah, but it's funny you brought up the vacation thing. That's a really good idea because you can install these apps and pause them, and then when you guys go out of town for that trip or whatever, turn them on. So especially if you with a group of friends, or if let's say two couples go and the ladies go out shopping in the town, the two guys stay at the resort, or whatever the situation may be. I think it's an excellent idea if you're out of the country or going on a trip. Yeah, because then it really doesn't matter, and you don't feel possessed anyway. But to me, in those moments, you feel like, hey, this is a safety thing. Let's keep track of each other as we go on these trips. That's an excellent idea. I didn't think about that. Even
when the phone dies, it gives you the last location.
Yeah, it does. And it even tells you your phone is dying. So you can hit your mate up and be like, hey, your phone's on 10%, the app says.
Right.
So you can charge it. Are you ladies okay? You know what I'm saying?
Right. The app tells you if their battery's dying. Right.
So that's really good. So to sum it up and end this episode, I guess we are saying it is okay to be on GPS with your significant other, but only when you're on trips and in unfamiliar territory. If you're at home in your local city, hell no, I don't know where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? And
hell to the hell no. Nah, yeah, hell no.
You know what I mean? So, that's what I have before we close out.
Yeah, man, stop being creeps. Men have that problem, possession. Yeah. Stop being territorial, Give your woman some space. Let her be a girl. Yeah. Some guys, man, I'm telling you, that some men are just weird.
Yeah.
True. They're so weird. Just always bonding their girls. Give your girl some space. Women, give your man some space. And it will be a happier place.
Yeah. And on that note, that's our show. Tune in next week.
Follow.
Don't forget to subscribe. Follow us on social media.
Instagram.
Description.
Hewett Vision.
That's
Imani Shakur, director.
We'll put it all in the description. And remember, we're broadcasting the truth and exposing the lies. This is a podcast based on Devon's book, Romantic Propaganda. It's the same name. Check it out when you can. And we'll see you guys next week.
Take care.
Peace and love.